Hey everybody, Tim here with today's episodes of Star Trek Voyager, Season 5, Episode 26, and Season 6, Episode 1, Equinox. Overall, it was a good two-parter. I wouldn't say it was the greatest season finale, season premiere ever, but it was kind of interesting. Basically, Voyager encounters another starship that was brought through space to the Delta Quadrant by the caretaker, but they went through a different path than Voyager did. So what's interesting to note is, as of Season 6, Voyager was the lone Star Trek TV show. During the Season 5 finale is when Deep Space Nine ended, and so from Season 6 on, it was just Voyager holding its own, until after Voyager ended, then we got Enterprise, which is a whole different story. So it's just kind of interesting that this is where like the Dominion War ends and stuff like that. So overall, we meet the Equinox, led by Captain Ransom, which with a name like Ransom, you can kind of tell, hey, things are not going to go that great. B'Elanna meets an ex of hers, which has stuck with me from childhood. Like, I remember when this episode debuted, and he's like, hey, you're BLT. And Tom is like, bacon, lettuce, and tomato? And she's like, it's my initials. B'Elanna, whatever her middle name is, Torres. And it's like, oh, so even now when I write my notes for every episode and everything, I don't write B'Elanna, I just write BLT, because that's how I think of him. And then when Harry's like, hey, come on, turkey platter, for Tom Paris, I was like, that's great. So overall, it's kind of interesting. So during the course of Janeway finding the Equinox, it turns out that the Equinox has actually been using this alien life form as fuel, and it makes them go like 10,000 light years in 2 weeks. And they're only like a month away or something from reaching Earth, because they just need to use like 63 more alien life forms. So clearly they've taken the Prime Directive and thrown it out the window, and they're like, hey, we're going to do whatever it takes. Because this is a much smaller starship, compared to the Galaxy class starship like the Enterprise D, Voyager's tiny. Compared to Voyager, the Equinox is tiny. It only has like a crew of 80, and it can only go warp 8. So already, like, you kind of feel bad for the Equinox. So anyways, they've been using these aliens as fuel to propel them forward through space. So our doctor ends up going to the Equinox to kind of look around, and their EMH, which has had the ethical subroutines deleted, basically, like, it's kind of a funny scene where he hits him with like this little board, and he's just like, boop, and it knocks our doctor out, and he steals the mobile emitter. It's kind of a fun scene. And so, like, this is the second episode in a row where we've seen the Doctor play an evil version of himself, and he goes back to Voyager. And most of this two-parter is Voyager trying to deal with a Starfleet crew who is not willing to abide by the Starfleet regulations. Which, even in Voyager, there's been numerous episodes where everybody's like the whole Maquis thing. Like, why are we following Starfleet regulations to get home? Like, why do we have the Prime Directive? Why do we follow these rules when we could just make a beeline straight home? And it kind of brings up those big questions. And eventually Captain Ransom even does. And he's like, you know what? Janeway's right. Let's just give up. And his crew has a mutiny against him. And they end up getting defeated because, of course, Janeway's going to beat everybody. The TV show is named Voyager for a reason. And so, but at the end, Voyager still has to bring some of these people on board, and she strips them of rank, and she's like, you're no longer part of Starfleet. You're just going to be crew member because I can't afford to keep you in the brig. And it's really kind of interesting. I don't really remember if we see any of these people again, so I'm kind of interested to see in these last 2 seasons if this topic is brought up again, because I don't actually remember. Overall, I thought it was an interesting two-parter, but I thought it could have been done a little bit better. For those who have seen it, what did you guys think about the finale and the premiere? What did you think about the Equinox? What did you think about Captain Ransom? What did you think about all of the using these aliens as fuel? Go ahead, let me know in the comments below. Thank you guys for everything, and I will see you guys next time for Survival Instinct.